no jurisdiction. No investment in private residential real property in the United States, 12 CFR 1500. No foreclosure of private residential real property in the United States, 12 CFR 22528. No liens on real property in the United States, 12 CFR 2114. No banking in the United States, Public Law 89485, Section 3. No real estate loans in the United States, Public Law 89485, Section 6, H, 12 U.S.C. 2912, U.S.C. 375b. No branching in the United States, 12 U.S.C. 36. Extensions of credit must be secured by a collateral deposit of 100% in cash, 12 CFR 215. No home loans to individuals, HOLA of 1933. No securities or hedge fund investment in the United States, 12 U.S.C. 1850. No credit intermediaries in the United States, 12 CFR 22528. No bank holding companies in the United States, 12 U.S.C. 1843. No savings loans and loan associations in the United States, 12 CFR 22528. No student loans from an industrial loan company, Sallie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, 12 CFR 22528. No housing loans in the United States, 12 U.S.C. 1432b. No evictions from private residential real property in the United States under HUD and Overseas Private Investment Corporation, 12 U.S.C. 2183. No state court proceedings, 12 U.S.C. 632. The real party of interest is the Bank of International Settlement, a Rothschild-owned bank. 12 U.S.C. 3105, 12 CFR, Part 1500 Merchant Banking Investments Authority, 12 U.S.C. 1843K. I am demanding the following information pertaining to my account. FR 2046, OMB, Control Number 71289. Selected balance sheet item for discount window borrowers. The Federal Reserve collect balance sheet data from discount window borrowers on the FR 2046 to monitor discount window borrowing. Borrowers report 6 data items: total securities, federal funds sold and resell agreements, total loans, total assets, total deposits, and federal funds purchased and repurchase agreements. FR 2069 OMB number 71030. The weekly report of asset and liabilities for large U.S. branches and agencies of foreign banks, balance sheet for U.S. branches and agencies of foreign banks. FR 2644. OMB number 71075. Weekly report of selected assets including loans, securities, total assets, and large time deposits. Domestic balance sheet of domestically chartered banks referred to as small banks, including non-member banks. Form FR 2644 is also used for domestically chartered commercial banks that do not report the FR 2416, number 4. FR 2416, OMB number 71-075. The weekly report of assets and liabilities for large banks of large domestically chartered commercial banks. The FR 2416 data are used on a standalone basis to construct the large domestically chartered bank series. Number 5. Verified certificate of deposit for the promissory note. Number 6. Bill of assignment. Proof of sale of account. How much the accounts receivable were sold for and to whom. Number 7. The CUSIP for my promissory note, which is a security pursuant to Title 15 U.S.C. subsection 78C, Section 10. Number 8. 424B Prospectus. Documents filed with SEC for company and bank security offerings pertaining to my account and transaction. Number 9. 425B Prospectus. Merger and acquisition with investors, combining entities pertaining to my account and transaction. Number 10. FinCEN Form 114 Currency Transaction Report for my account and transaction. Number 11. IRS Form A300 Report of cash payment over $10,000 received in business or trade for my account and transaction. Number 12. IRS Form 1098 Mortgage Interest Statement pertaining to my account and transaction. Number 13. IRS Form 1065 Return of Partnership Income pertaining to my account and transaction. Number 14. The Quarterly Commercial Bank Consolidated Reports of Condition and Income, specifically FFIEC 031 and 041 OMB, number 71036, Call reports pertaining to my account and transaction. Number 15. The report of assets and liabilities of U.S. branches and agencies of foreign banks, specifically FIEC 002 OMB number 7120032. Call reports pertaining to my account and transaction. Number 16. The collateral deposit account for offset purposes for your account pertaining to my account and transaction. Number 17. Wells Fargo S3 registration statement with the SEC. Number 18. MoneyNet Daily Transaction Log Report 120 pertaining to my account and transaction. Number 19. Forward Flow Agreement, also known as Forward Flow Facility. This type of financing agreement allows Wells Fargo to sell its future accounts receivables to an investor in exchange for upfront capital. This provides Wells Fargo with immediate access to capital based on the value of its future invoices. In a flow agreement, the company sells a certain percentage of its future invoices to the investor at a discount. This allows the investor to earn a return by collecting the full face value of the invoices when they come due. Meanwhile, the company gets immediate cash to fund operations without taking on debt. Number 20, a W9, W7, W8 for Wells Fargo. Number 21. The Department of Justice informed the Supreme Court in 1989 that national banking associations are chartered and restricted to international banking in the case of Citibank versus Wells Fargo Asian Limited. Number 22. 12 CFR subsection 2110 permissible activities abroad outside the United States. A. Activities usual in connection with banking. The board has determined that the following activities are usual in connection with the transaction of banking or other financial operations abroad. Number 1. Commercial and other banking activities. Number 2. Financing including commercial financing, consumer financing, mortgage banking, and factoring. Number 23. 12 U.S.C. subsections 1861 through 1865. The Bank Service Act forbids the acceptance of a deposit from an American citizen, and jurisdictional operations are restricted to 12 U.S.C. 1843 outside the United States. Number 24. The published Regulation Series 12, CFR 211 Foreign Banking, lists the only permissible lien on real estate restricted to the extension of credit for foreign real estate. Number 25. 12 U.S.C. subsection 378 forbids national banking associations to be associated with any investment companies in regards to any asset located in the United States, and neither are permitted to accept a deposit from an American citizen. Number 26. 12. U.S.C. subsection 29 does not permit national banking associations to own real property other than a bank building or property mortgage by an affiliate as a payment in regards to a debt owed to the member bank. Number 27. 12 U.S.C. 615 restricts the business of banking, inclusive of deposit taking to outside the United States. Number 28. 12 CFR 250143 Section D restricts national banks to foreign branches outside the United States. Number 29. 12 U.S.C. 631 refers to a national banks as a corporation. 12 U.S.C. subsection 631. False representations as to liability of the United States for acts of corporation. 12 U.S.C. 631 can impose a $10,000 fine and imprisonment for not more than 5 years, or even inferring that they have any connection to the United States. Number 30. National Bank versus Matthews U.S. January 1st, 1878, 98. U.S. 621, 1878. Mr. Justice Miller dissenting. I am of the opinion that the National Banking Act makes a void every mortgage or other conveyance of land as a security for money loaned by the bank at the time of the transaction to whomsoever the conveyance may be made, that the bank is forbidden to accept such security, and it is void, and its hands. Number 31. I am not a covered person under the Private Securities Litigation Act, by definition a member bank, subject to the interbank liabilities listed in 12 CFR 206. Number 32. To provide for the establishment of Federal Savings and Loan Associations, the HOLA, by its subsection 3, 48 Statute 129, repealed subsection 4D of the Federal Home Loan Bank Act, 47 Statute 727, which had authorized federal home loan banks to make loans directly to homeowners. Number 33. 12 CFR subsection 2548 International Banking Facilities. Time deposit, or IBF. Time deposit represents funds deposited to the credit of a non-United States resident or a foreign branch, office, subsidiary, affiliate, or other foreign establishment that deposits received by. International banking facilities may be used only to support the depositor's operations outside the United States, as specified in subsection 2048A2 and that extensions of credit by IBF may be used only to finance operations outside of the United States as specified in subsection 2048A3v1. Number 34. 12. USC subsection 375A. Loans to executive officers of banks, an extension of credit which the bank is authorized to make under this section. 2. Mortgage loans. A member bank may make a loan to any executive officer of the bank. If at the time the loan is made, it is secured by a first lien on a dwelling, which is expected, after the making of the loan, to be owned by the officer and used by him as his residence, and no other loan by the bank to the officer under authority of this paragraph is outstanding. Educational loans. A member bank may make extensions of credit to any executive officer of the bank to finance the education of the children of the officer. Number 35. Title 12. USC subsection 501A for feature of franchise of national banks for failure to comply with provisions of this chapter. Should any national banking association in the United States now organized fail within 1 year after December 23, 1913 to become a member bank or failed to comply with any of the provisions of this chapter applicable thereto, all of the rights, privileges, and franchisees under such association granted to it under the National Bank Act 12 U.S.C. 21 or under the provisions of this chapter, shall be thereby forfeited. Number 36. December 23, 1913. Chapter 6. Subsection 25 apar, formerly subsection 25A as added, December 24, 1919. Chapter 18, 41 Stat 378. 12 CFR subsection 2111. Authority, purpose, in scope. Corporations organized under Section 25A of the FRA 12 U.S.C. 611 through 631 Edge corporations. Number 37. The International Operations Regulation. 12 CFR subsection 20 and Edge Corporation is a foreign banking corporation. 12 CFR subsection 412. Title 12 Banks and Banking, the International Operations. Regulation Port 20 of this chapter. Reports of international operations requires that a national bank notified the comptroller before the establishment of a foreign branch or other controlled international banking office, and before the acquisition of a director and direct controlling interest in a foreign bank or in certain other corporations. For the purposes of this paragraph A, foreign banking corporation is any bank or corporation, chartered or incorporated under the laws of the United States or any state, thereof including any corporation organized under 12 U.S.C. 611 through 632, which is principal engaged in international or foreign banking or financing or banking in a dependency or insular possession of the United States, directly or through the agency, ownership, or control of local institutions in foreign countries, or in such dependencies or insular possessions, or any corporation or other association, organized at the laws of foreign country, or a dependency or insular possession of the United States, which is principal engaged in a commercial banking business. Number 38. An Edge Act Corporation, Section 25A of the FRA, 12 U.S.C. 611 through 631 is a financial institution. Public Law 97290 Section 101. This title may be cited as the Export Trading Company Act of 1982. It is the purpose of this act to increase United States exports of products and services by permitting bank, holding companies, bankers' banks, and Edge Act corporations and agreement corporations that are subsidiaries of bank, holding companies to invest in export trading companies are reducing restrictions on trade financing provided by finance institutions and by modifying the application of the antitrust laws to certain export trade. Number 39, Title 12. CFR subsection 28 section 51 states international loan means a loan made to a foreign government or to an individual, a corporation or other entity, not a citizen of, resident in, or organized or incorporated in the United States. Number 40, Public Law 89485, Section 6H, secured by a cash collateral deposit of 100% of the amount of credit extended. Number 41, Section 22 of the 1913 Federal Reserve Act restricts all financial transactions to member bank transactions with member banks. Section 22 of the 1913 Federal Reserve Act was amended in 1933 with the enactment of Section 23, 12 U.S.C. 371, permitting financial transactions with banking affiliates. 12 U.S.C. 371 is the authority for real estate loans outside the United States. As of 1918, Section 19B of the 1913 Federal Reserve Act prohibits the acceptance of any type of domestic deposit, transaction account deposit subject to withdrawals by checks by any financial instrument in the United States. Title 12. U.S.C. Section 615, the keystone of the permissive activity of the Chartered National Banking Associations, prohibits the acceptance of a deposit from an American citizen. The 1919 amendment to the 1913 Federal Reserve Act, EDGE Act, permitted corporations restricted to import-export financing in the international financial markets, prohibited the acceptance of a deposit from an American citizen. Bank holding companies restricted to pooling funds for import, export, financing, or prohibited from the acceptance of a deposit from an American citizen. The 1932 enactment of the Homeowners Loan Act, amended in 1933, prohibited the acceptance of a deposit from an American citizen. Title 12 U.S.C. 632, enacted in 1933, only allows litigation of any claim of the permissive foreign banking provisions to a federal district court, which excludes any litigation in a state court. 12 U.S.C. 378, Dealers in Securities, enacted in 1933, does not permit any acceptance of a deposit from an American citizen. The only enforceable loan, lending of money contract, has to occur at a branch outside the United States. 12 U.S.C. 615. Loan production offices are restricted to member bank transactions, have to be located where the bank is permitted to establish a branch, and are not open to the general public. Consequently, any and all contrived notion of permissiveness of any loan or loan servicer concerning an American citizen would constitute a criminal charge of banking fraud under 18 U.S.C. 1005 per 12 U.S.C. 503.